Hey Colt fans, Justin Baldini, Director of Marketing for Colt here. This week on Topic Tuesday, we're going to teach you guys how to remove rust from a 1911 slide. If you got a little bit of rust in your blued surfaces, you're going to want to pay attention. So here we've got a blued 1911. This is a carbon steel blued gun. It does have a little bit of rust, as you can see. It was just kind of put away dry with absolutely no oil on it, and it was put away into a foam case that that tends to kind of hold moisture. So you can see it got a little speckled on the top, and what we're going to do is just use a brass brush to kind of get rid of that. As you can see here, instead of using like a brass toothbrush or something, actually, I'm just going to use a bore brush. You probably got one kicking around anyways, and also some CLP. CLP is a pretty good application for this. It's got a little bit of solvent in it, so it's going to try and get that stuff off. And then also at the same time, the important thing is really that you're lubricating the brass brush as you're sort of wiping it against the carbon steel blued surface. So brass brush is important because the brass is actually a little bit softer than the material. So you're not going to scratch it. You're going to actually come in here. We're going to brush it with the oil on there, and it should come right off. What I like to do is just take a little bit. I'm actually just going to put it on my finger like this and just put it everywhere on the surface that the rust actually is, and then just come in here with the brush and start brushing. You want to make sure that you don't sort of wear this brass brush down so that the inside of the wire is a steel wire that's inside of the brush, like that's wound, that all these bristles are stuck in. If you start bending the bristles over, you want to make sure you don't get down to the point where you're rubbing that wire on the surface. So, don't go crazy, go easy. It's going to look like you're scraping the brass brush onto the finish of the slide, which is okay. What you're actually seeing is the rust coming out. Again, make sure you don't bend over those bristles and get it down to the point where you're rubbing that wire on there. And we're going to wipe that off and see how it looks. Man, that is like 99% done. There's a little spot I just kind of missed there, so I'm going to get that. Then we can bring this gun back into our show gun pile. Yeah. So you can see we really made a pretty good pass at this rust. It's pretty much gone from that sandblasted part. There's a couple other parts on the slide that I'm going to have to attack, but we're going to call this one good. So there you have it, Colt fans. That's how you remove a little bit of rust from the top of your 1911 slide. Make sure you leave us some comments below, and we'll see you next week on Topic Tuesday.